Bottle breacher has a pretty interesting story in that it wasn't pre-planned. I started with a Dremel tool, and I got to the point where I would buy up like 10 dummy rounds at a time. I would paint them, do different designs with them. I would find these little decals online, I would stick them on there, and that's how this started. And once I saw my buddy's reaction to it, I then asked my wife, I was like, do you think you could help me sell these online? And so my wife and I were watching a lot of Shark Tank at the time, and it started, I started thinking, you know what, we could go on that show. We could get a deal on that show.
Mr. Cuban, Mr. Wonderful, you guys are awesome! Let's do it! Yes!
And the coolest thing was, within a month and a half, our sales went from like $7,500 a month to $22,000 a month in just a month and a half. And I started asking other machinists, I was like, hey, I need to figure out how to cut these bullets because I'm paying an arm and a leg right now having somebody else cut them for me. What machine do you recommend? And I talked to several machinists, and I got all sorts of data and feedback, and hey, these are possibilities. But one thing I noticed is when guys talked about the Hurco, they said, hey, if the Hurco was a solid, hard-working workhorse machine, and it was also easy to use. And so that's what we did. We bought a turnkey Hurco machine, and I'm glad we did. We actually used our Shark Tank money to buy that machine. And it was one of the best decisions we've ever made, and that thing runs, thankfully it runs every single day.
So we take our 50 cals and we throw them in there. It's set up to be a turnkey for us. So it's kind of nice because we can come in, turn on the machine, the program's in there, everything's just a push one button and it goes for us. Because you guys made the program, you made operations so easy for us that I can bring anybody in here to do it. It takes all of about 2 days to train them and turn them loose.
The fact that we can bring that in-house and do our own cutting and not have to constantly what's the status of this? Hey, deadline was at this date, we've not received it, or hey, we're going on national television, surprise, I need an additional 10,000 units cut in a week. Is that something you can do? Not having to do that anymore, and it's just a walk back to the suite and say, okay guys, this is the change of schedule, this is what we need to do, throw an extra body, and it be done. And to have that freedom and that flexibility to just make it happen has been a game changer for us.
One thing that I do feel like I do all day is I walk around and put out fires. I walk around and I solve problems. And I can honestly say, thankfully, that the Hurco is one place that I'm usually not having to solve problems, because from the time it's been delivered here until the time our staff got training on it, hey, these are the few operations you guys need to understand to make this thing run. That thing, it does its job every single day. It doesn't break down. And that's what I want people to understand about Bottle Breacher. It's not just a cool gift, but it really is, they're buying patriotism as well.
Hurco makes it easy.
I love it.